Hi, this is Jack at Jack's Transmissions. Did you hear it? Did you see it? Let's play that clip again and see if you can spot what the problem is. Okay, so what this transmission is experiencing is what is called a flare, a shift flare. And a flare is when you're engaging the next clutch, the next gear, and the RPMs flare up, they spike before the next gear engages. So instead of going up in the RPMs and shifting to the next gear where they just immediately go down into the next gear ratio, it's going up, it gets the command to shift, and then it goes bing, and then it comes back down again. So that flare is bad. It's not good for the clutch. It doesn't feel nice to the driver either. It feels like there's something very wrong. So it needs to be fixed. So this clutch had this issue. The customer struggled with it. It's a do-it-yourself customer, which we love to help here. We're all about to do-it-yourselfer here at Jack's Transmissions. So he gave up. He shipped the clutch to us. We put it in our Franken-mission. Our Franken-mission's used to test parts that customers ship in to make sure they function properly. And that's the video I got. Probably 1 out of every 5 times I hit it, it does the flare. Customer thought that the clutch had a slipping issue. The clutch wasn't holding the power. That's not the case. The clutch is holding the power just fine. There's a delay in what's called the clutch crossover. So in a GR6, you have a series of steels and friction material that generates friction to transfer the torque through the rest of the drivetrain. And you have a piston. The piston is pressurized by hydraulic pressure on the underside here. It pushes the piston up and generates the friction on the frictions and steels. So the more pressure you have on the frictions and steels, the more torque is transferred from the assembly. So there's something going on here during that crossover where the piston is trying to engage the next set of clutches. So in a DCT, like the GR6, you have an odd side of the gear set and you have an even side. And when I hit it in first gear, the odd side clutch, known as clutch B, is engaged. It's transferring torque from the engine to the rest of the drivetrain. But clutch A, which is the even side for second's pre-selected, ready to go, but the clutch is open. It's not transferring any power yet. So when I give it the command to shift, either via the paddle or via the program I'm running, it's going to let go of first gear during that shift and engage second. The timing between those two engagements are critical. Like one has to disengage while the other one's engaging at just the right moment. If there's a delay in that timing, you'll get a flare on the shift. So either, if the odd clutch is letting go too early and then even's engaging, there's nowhere for the power to go, so you get this false neutral where the engine bangs off the limiter, and then once the even side engages, second engages, RPMs go back down again. So that's what's happening there. Or it could be a delay on the engagement on the other side. So, the odd side is letting go, even side's engaging, but there's something going on where this is engaging too late. And in a DCT, if you have a flare, every time I've seen it happen, it's always been the engagement side is engaging too slowly. It's lazy. There's something going on. There's either a pressure leak, there's either a clearance issue, there's a problem with the assembly where the piston cannot travel efficiently to engage the plates. It can only go so far. So if one side is set up at like 2 millimeters clearance, other side is set up at like 4, there's going to be issues. There's only so much the software can do to compensate for that. So that could be the issue. Another problem is on the pressure seal in these pistons, especially in DBAs, they're pressed into the piston. And on later DBAs, they have issues where they fall out. They'll fall out of the piston, but still make enough of a seal to function. But what happens is when you're taxing the system and you need a really quick transfer of pressure from one clutch to another, and it needs to be seamless, it can't do it. The seal is out of the housing, there's a leak, and then when the piston is working its way up, it finally presses the seal back in place, and then you get full pressure again. So you get a delay on the shift. You never completely lose pressure. You don't have any issues when you're driving around normally, but at high RPM, high pressure, that's when that'll cause an issue as well. So I believe with this clutch, that that's going to be the issue. There's a pressure seal issue. So I'm going to put our carbon seals in there, which don't have that issue. And I'm probably going to also upgrade the clutch frictions and steels to our carbons as well, and set the clearance up exactly where it needs to be for our clutches, so it's just absolutely perfect. So knowing this, let's watch that last clip again with it flaring on the shift and the shock it's sent through the system. Remember, it's supposed to shift, it's got the command to shift at 6,500. Look at the RPMs and then listen to the engine flare up and then slam in the second gear on that crossover. So I was having a little fun with my microphones on this one. I put one of the mics up against the engine inside, under the hood, inside the engine compartment. So here's one last clip. Flare happened. It's really hard to hear. It sounds like the car has got some big block V8 in it. It's crazy. So we like to thank our customers for putting their trust in us on things like this. This is why we invested in this GT-R. This GT-R is strictly for testing completed transmissions or parts that people send to us that they're having difficulty with. Whether it's a part you put together using competitors' parts or parts you put together using ours, if you're having an issue, we are here for you. We support the do-it-yourselfer. The Franken mission that I always make fun of is a transmission that we have, a core transmission, dedicated to testing parts like your valve bodies, your clutch, your ETS, anything like that you're struggling with, we're here to help you. I'll put it in my Franken mission, I'll put it in my car, and we'll figure it out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support.